Welcome to the Mike and JD Show YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. I want you to do me a big favor before you check out this clip. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to throw in a comment and make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. And then I want you to share this video with your friends. Help us defeat the algorithm. And then if you like this content and you appreciate this content, please head over to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show and support the show. That is how we actually get funded to be able to do this. So we thank you very much for being here. And now enjoy the clip.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A game. Made no rains on the track when we unite and spit. This is an A game, better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A game. Made no rains on the track when we.
Bryan Danielson has been accused of fining wrestlers for their social media activity. And somebody was saying that Mike Santana was one of those wrestlers because he's another malcontent who's trying to get out of his contract, apparently. And apparently he's got 6 weeks left. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just a rumor that's out there. But you know what? Okay, look, if AEW is fining their wrestlers for being stupid on social media, about time.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they need to, look, I get free speech and yada yada, but if you're going on there and I know they're independent contractors, right? But if they're actively going on there and bashing the company that they work for, I think you got to clamp down on that type of behavior. I say that knowing that a couple years ago I was guilty of backing WWE wrestlers when they were coming out against their company because I didn't like WWE at the time. So now I'm being a complete hypocrite. I'm being a complete hypocrite. So I'm going to go back in time and say WWE should have fined those guys too. So
no, I agree. And there's the thing is, like, you don't see a lot of this from WWE. Even when, like, I remember before Cody came, so much. Man, before Cody came back and after Cody came back to WWE, it's like a different world of pro wrestling. But remember the Royal Rumble 2022? I remember Dave wrote, the morale has never been worse in this company.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you didn't see them going on like Kevin Owens did the coordinates of Mount Rushmore, and that was like it. And that was like all you'd ever see. Like in AEW, you've got, like I said, Matt Hardy's going on there and bitching about his push. It's like, dude, you can't even walk. You haven't done a single cool thing since you've been here. Like, where do you get off like talking about anybody's stuff? Like, no, I'm kind of with, and here's the funny part is the people that are bitching about Danielson handing out fines are the same people that masturbate over old Undertaker wrestlers court stories. Yeah, that's when men were tough, idiots.
Yeah, well, here's my problem with it. Why is Danielson even being mentioned? He's just part of like a committee of people. The fines are coming from Tony Khan. But it's Tony Khan. Put the blame on Khan. Don't put the blame, like Danielson's not the one, like here's your fine, right? Like Bob Armstrong used to do in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, on TV. You've been fined $500. That's what he always tell fucking
Bill Watts would do in real life.
You're
playing cards backstage. That's $400.
So, that's my problem with it. And I think Khan needs to get out ahead of that, right? Because like one of his top stars is taking the blame and taking the heat for all this stuff. Khan needs to come out like, no, I'm the one. I consult with people. I get people's opinions. I'm finding these fucking idiots, right? I'm doing it. I fired CM Punk, not Danielson. Like, I'm doing all of this. Stop coming out.
He did. He went on television and said, I fired CM Punk. I don't know what more he could have done for that.
I know, but then it came out afterwards, and now people are blaming Bryan Danielson. He just needs to make sure, like, to reiterate, like, I'm the only fucker that makes a decision around here. Nobody else makes any decisions but me.
Here's what's funny is for years we said Tony's got to delegate more. Tony's got to delegate more. So Kevin Sullivan gets fired because Mastery's like, look, we're going to move in a different direction. And it's like, and people are like, why didn't Tony Khan do anything? And it's like, didn't you tell him to delegate? Like, he's letting. That guy's in charge of TV. He should be in charge of TV, and Tony just signs off on it. Okay, that's what you want to do. Go do it. Like, that's how companies are run.
Yeah. But decisions are made. Ultimate decisions, like especially with talent, comes from the boss, right? You don't want like another talent taking the heat for that. You be the one to take the heat for it.
Yeah, but it's easier to give the heat to the guy than the boss, right? It's like Vince loved me. Is Pritchard hated me,
and that's exactly, and he's putting himself in like a Vince type position, right? And that's kind of the way I see it. Like, oh yeah, Vince loved me, but Bruce Pritchard fucking hated me, or Jim Ross hated me and fired my ass and fined me. It's like, no, everything. It was Vince. It was always Vince, and it's the same situation here.
Mike, what's the through line with that? Wrestlers, they're dumb.
Yeah, They are.
Like, they're just dumb. Like they're easy to work. Like, it's just, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. And if you're gonna get mad at Bryan, if you're gonna get mad at someone like Tony Khan's being an adult in this situation, I give him. I believe me, no one's been harder on his leadership than you or I. He's doing this here, and Bryan Danielson is heading up this disciplinary committee, and he gets to be the guy, the hatchet guy, right? Because I don't think Tony's got an M to be the hatchet guy. So if you can't be the hatchet guy, have someone else be the hatchet guy. It's weird that it's Bryan, but I mean, like, I think Bryan's respected enough, and I think Bryan's respected enough in the locker room for that. If they say, if Bryan goes, look, I'm gonna have to fine you, I think everybody like, fine, yeah, okay, like that guy. You know, I think if it's like the boys we lost here, and I said I'm disappointed in you, and they were all like, oh. Like, I think it's like one of those things where imagine if Punk had that job, people would be like, fuck you, you know? Like, they'd be acting like Joey Janela on Twitter, like when he was pretending like what he did in AEW mattered.
Ah, man, don't even fucking talk about that guy. I had forgotten all about Joey Janela, that he was actually a thing in AEW at one point.
He wasn't ever really a thing in AEW. Like, he was just kind of there. Remember when everybody was convinced that Joey Janela was good because, like, he booked, like, kind of fun indie shows that first couple years, and people like, Joey Janela is really good. And I saw him in All In, and he had a decent match with Hangman Page, because Hangman Page has great matches with everybody. He
had a good match with Kenny Omega. Newsflash.
Kenny Omega also has good matches with everybody. Kenny Omega had the greatest squash match ever with Sonny Kiss.
Yeah. But hey, guys, I think that's going to do it for us this week on the Mike and JD show. Stay tuned next week. We'll be back on Thursday night. Hopefully my balls will allow it. But we should be back on Thursday night. And head over to patreon.com/the Mike and JD show. JD and I are getting ready to lay down some audio talking about the history of Sting and Ric Flair, because we got Sting's final match coming up, and so JD and I are big fans of NWA in the 80s and 90s, so we're just going to kind of talk about some of our favorite memories and favorite matches, and kind of go through the history of these two guys and kind of riff on that. So we're going to talk about that because they got that big match coming up in Greensboro this coming up February, so that was fresh on our minds. So stay tuned for that, and then I'll also be back 2 times this weekend with Brace for Impact, so I'll record Brace for Impact at some point tomorrow morning, and then another one probably on Sunday, as I'll be recapping a Final Resolution. But I'll talk about tomorrow. I'm going to talk about all about the news surrounding TNA, Okada, Will Ospreay, and then of course they just got their new TNA Plus streaming services coming out next month. Which, surprise, everybody, that it is actually a part of the Endeavor streaming network. Endeavor, which owns WWE and UFC, is actually going to be hosting on their servers the new TNA Plus streaming app. So I think that's kind of interesting and a little bit wild.
Endeavor don't care about those things.
They don't. Like, this whole like WWE Smashing competition is no more. It's like a thing of the past. They don't give a shit. So that's pretty interesting to me. But yeah, lots of stuff to talk about with TNA coming up this week, and hopefully I have a good update on the ticket sales and all of that, and more news and all kinds of stuff coming up. So please stay tuned, and then make sure you're a subscriber to this channel, the Voices of Wrestling YouTube Network. Give us a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. All right, everybody, and until next time. Oh no. Sorry, my mouse just froze. And until next time, mahalo.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A game. Mate, no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This is an A game, better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A game. Mate, no rain. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A game. Mate, no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This is an A game, better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so